Hello, Professor, and this is my look at Sneaky McSneakpants, McSneakface, Sneaky McSneakface. So for now, I just have the lives and scores still on the screen. I tried to get a health bar on him, but uh, when I put it on the enemy, it was just being weird. It was just disappearing. I think I needed to set layers. So I have my image, my text right here. I also don't think it counts really, but I also have a main menu scene, and I'm gonna make the game assets kind of match this when it gets together. But for now, and it was actually clickable, which is pretty cool. But anyway, there was my text and my image, I guess, if it's just a canvas image. I don't know if that also counts as a button, but it was like a button image, if that makes sense. Um, my canvas scaling also scales with the screen and everything. It's set at a 50% match. So I don't have the game manager FSM yet, but my AI one is coming along. Uh, Give me a little bit of a break, it's a little sad, but it's working. Um, Idle isn't really the default state right now. It's kind of patrol, and patrol was working great before I added these booleans, the can see and the can chase boolean to it. He was patrolling. First, let me just do that really quick. Huh. Maybe something weird is going on here. In patrol. Okay. Hmm. Maybe can't see is somehow always true right now. Anyhow, I just wanted to show you that the patrol was working, but it's not. So there's that. I'll have to debug that. But when I added that the first time, that's when it stopped working. So I'll have to see. Maybe maybe it's just always going into the chase state. Maybe it's just always going into the chase state. Nope. Okay. So we'll figure that out, I guess. Anywho, then I did have this set up and working with the idle to patrol, but I don't really have a way to switch it over. I don't have a coded in for the circle colliders just yet. So, well, there's that. Anyhow, in my chase, as you can see, since it's the only thing that's working right now, I do use a vector 2 dot distance, and that I can probably showcase. That I can probably do. So we're gonna go up to the AI controller, or down to the AI controller, and I'm gonna change the stopping distance to something cool so he doesn't smash into me. Oh, no way. Okay. Well, if that ain't creepy, I don't know what is. But, you know, doesn't retreat, but he stays 10, or try to make that a little easier, I guess. 5. Well, there. Hmm. So there's that. Oh, I changed the alert level to 5. I meant to change the stop distance to 5. See, different distances. There's 1 just for good measure. Will I still get smacked into? No. So at least I can do that now. But yeah, there's also the AI vision right there. I had the same vector dot 3 dot distance for the patrol, and it was working pretty good. I'll just have to show you in the next video to get points for that whenever I get that working. So then I also use a raycast here to kind of get that field of view, but something must be up with how I'm doing this. Oh, you know what I'm doing? Um, Maybe not. Interesting. I know that was the wrong way anyway, but it was worth a try. So, he's for some reason either always raycasting or always just turning to the player. But there's my raycast. I put the colliders on these. I put the colliders on these, and I'm not really sure why they're not wanting to go. Here it is. Maybe putting it on the whole thing really isn't it, but I tried. So other than that, for the can C, I did had the canvas shell kind of work you through this. So you have to get your player's transform, which I do right here with get components. Um, I guess I could start using game manager.instance, but we'll do that later. Then I find his vector that I need to go to. I find the players by, and I used to get transform here to kind of, because I think that might be better when we instantiate it, even though they're not a prefab yet. Um, but I thought that's how you would, thought that was a good idea for how you would, get the vector that you need to go to every time if you're going to get destroyed. Um, So then, maybe this is why. Oh no, it's just getting my angle to my player here, so I don't know if I'm actually turning right here with my use of vector 3 dot angle, if I'm doing something weird, but from my understanding, that just gets the angle from, yeah, it just gets the angle from, you know, the script that this is on, the game object this is on, to the target game object. So there's that. Then I set it if it's less than the field of view, which I let the designer obviously set, it's 45 degrees. Maybe I need to make it less, see what happens then. Um, then this is where I use the ray cast. So it shoots out a little ray. If it hits anything, it's supposed to return. Oh, that's where we went with it. Haha, in video, as I'm explaining it. Okay, there's him patrolling, going through everything. So I guess I got the patrol now. I'll just put this on the timestamp. But I'll have to get something going here. Maybe he's just moving too fast. Because before he was gliding with me. So that's interesting. Anyway, so there's the patrol state. I guess you don't really need to see it switch to the chase state again. So there's that. There we go. After getting that to work, that messed up my train of thought. So now you see my controller parent class. I have this, an abstract class that just gets the pawn so it can pass it down to these two, the player controller and the AI controller. Then here is my player movement. It's the same as it was in Asteroids, except the moving part is actually done in pawn, and I just pass my vertical axis and my horizontal axis into it. So then here, I guess I could have showed you now, but the state machine is also the AI controller. You see I have my do idle chase. So this is what the AI does when it's chasing me or the player. First it checks to see if you have a player, and if not, it gets it because I'm assuming we're going to be destroying objects in this, so I want to be able to get my player again if they get destroyed. And then I use another vector 2 dot distance here, and this is actually what makes them chase them. I used a Unity class or a Unity method that just moves you to your target point. So you say my transformed opposition, player position, times my pawn speed, times delta time. And that's how fast they kind of come at you. And then this is just to make them stop at a certain distance. So you can like have them stop and shoot, or stop and retreat, or stop and call all their friends somehow. That would be kind of cool, actually. So there is that. I guess I'll show you my pawn parent class for now. I don't have an enemy pawn or anything yet, which I am now probably going to get one for the player and one for an enemy because I want my player movement to be different. I don't think I want tank controls. I want it. It doesn't feel like Metal Gear with the current setup that I have, but it's the only one that I know how to do currently. So we will get to that. So here's my pawn parent class. As you can see, there's nothing that would inherit from it, but it's there. I could set behaviors or whatever I want. for both of my AI and my player. They will both get this when I make the next pawns, which I think I'm gonna have to define the move differently between the two. And then I have a bunch of extra stuff in here, except for my rotate. This is what rotates us. We take in our transform dot forward and multiply it by our direction, which we're taking in right here, our rotate speed and our time, delta time to make it smooth. We had to do a -1 because I was getting some weird inverse stuff going on. But now, as you can see, it's fine. I mean, I'm not a fan of the tank controls, and these colliders could be a little bit better, but the AI rotates good. So then I made like a variable up there with called target lock right here. It's called a vector3. And I set it equal to my target transform, which is most likely the player, but you could technically set it to whatever you want. Minus our transform position again. We've done that a lot in this in many different ways. And that just gets where I need to look. And then I set that to my transform dot right so that my pawn, or so that the enemy pawn is facing the player. So the player doesn't really use this. I guess this is some of that stuff we could separate. Death could stay on here. So that would be nice if that could work. But that's my progress report. Maybe I'm calling these wrong in here. I just threw them in here right before I did this video. So I'll get to looking on that. But so far, after a tutor session, this was pretty great. My game was completely broken before, but my structure for my AI controller without the if statements was pretty much there, which I guess I should have just dove into this instead of being so worried about that because I got it right anyway, and now look at me, I'm late, but oh well, there's still time. All right, thank you. I know it's a long video with me always, but have a good night, and I'll post another one of these in I don't know, a little bit. A little bit. As you can see, it's buggy, but we're getting there. All right.